$14,000 for one 30-second video? Yeah, sign me up. Hello girlies and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ayayi. I'm a beauty and lifestyle creator and I love creating content about just living with intention and making your life a little bit prettier every day. So if that's your vibe, pull up a chair, stick around and join the family. So today actually marks 4 months since I quit my corporate job to be a full-time influencer. So I figured let's sit down, catch up. I'm gonna give y'all all the tea, all the influencer tea, and hopefully shed some light about this transition if it's something that you're thinking about for yourself. So the last 4 months have been very interesting, to say the least. Full-time content creation is not at all what I imagined. It's better, it's worse, and everything in between. Let's just go ahead and dive right in. But before we do that, I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory and how I even got here. I started creating content in 2022. I'm not one of those people that woke up and decided like I want to be an influencer. Like I literally fell into this and I feel like now I'm just kind of stuck with it in the best way possible. So back in 2022, I had just gone through a really horrible breakup. Like I was really depressed. I didn't know what to do with myself. I packed up my whole life. I was living in California at the time, moved across the country to Dallas, Texas. And this was like my first like real nice big girl apartment. I love decorating. Like I always love like curating nice spaces and vibes and hosting and things like that. So I started showing the process of me kind of like decorating my apartment on TikTok. Now, if you remember, TikTok came around, I think in 2020 or 2021 during the pandemic. And at first I was like, girl, what is this app? This is like little kids dancing and singing. Like this is not my vibe. So I resisted posting on TikTok for the longest time. But fast forward to 2022, I put like my first like real video out there. I posted this video of my apartment and like a transformation that I had done in my bedroom and it went viral. Like million+ views. And I was like, wow, I had never experienced anything like that before. And so I was like, okay, let me post another video. Another video I posted, the same thing, viral immediately. And that was really how it was for a good chunk of, you know, the start of my journey. Like I was the DIY home decor girl down. At the same time though, I had been working in corporate beauty. I've worked in corporate beauty for 10 years and I loved it. Like I've always been a beauty babe, you know, makeup, hair, nails, clothes, like we like to look good. So I loved working in the beauty industry, kind of like behind the scenes on the corporate side. I started out in regulatory compliance and kind of worked my way into product development. So 2022, that was like my first year of like really putting out content consistently. Brands were starting to notice me and I got my first brand partnership. My very first brand partnership was back in 2022 for $500 and I was so excited that anyone would even think to pay me to put content out there. Throughout the rest of the year, I kind of started getting more and more like little partnerships here and there, $500 here, $1,000. My first year of creating content in 2022, I made $7,000 from social media and I was so excited. I took that money and I went straight to Paris and bought myself a Saint Laurent bag. I bought Gucci shoes. Like we had a ball. 2023 rolls around and my TikTok is still growing. I think at this point I'd kind of grown my audience to like 75,000 followers. I was kind of getting more and more consistent partnerships. I ended up having to take like 4 or 5 months off in the middle of the year. Fortunately, my mom passed away and I was just not well, but still not really posting for like a good chunk of the year. I ended 2023 with about $40,000 in income. That's when I really started to think that, okay, this could actually be something. So I'd started to make the shift from creating this home decor content to doing beauty. It was something that I just loved and it was something that I was doing in my day-to-day for work at my corporate job. So I felt like why not just share the beauty products that I love because I know them like the back of my hand. Pivoting is never easy, but somehow by the grace of God, we were able to pull it off and I really transitioned into being a beauty creator. So in 2024, I applied for the Ulta Beauty Collective and I was accepted. Y'all, I was so ecstatic. Like this was the best opportunity ever. And for me, it was really just about that recognition and, you know, just kind of like being seen for the work that I was doing in the beauty space. But I had no idea that that opportunity was about to blow my whole life open. I will always credit Ulta Beauty for being the catalyst for this transition, this career change that I've had. Like from that point on, it has been foot on the gas. It really gave me the motivation and just kind of like the reassurance that I needed to lock in and take it seriously. Mind you, I'm still working this damn corporate job. And by this point, I had really started to get burnt out. Like I was waking up early before work, staying up late after work, filming before work, editing after work. Like the days were just so long and my job was really like demanding. Like I was in back-to-back meetings all day. And so juggling that, like by the time I would get off of work, I would be so exhausted, but I still showed up and I still kept trying to do content on the side because I knew that at this point, this was something that I actually wanted to do and wanted to make a career for myself. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer than it did, but once I figured out that I wanted to do it, it really didn't take that much time at all. So I had been thinking about this for about a year, like really from the point that I had made the Ulta Beauty Collective. It was about a year from there until I quit my job, and I was really going back and forth for that year about if this was something that I wanted to do, like if I wanted to take the leap. I was feeling so much more fulfilled by creating content, by sharing community, talking about these beauty products. It lit me up in a way that my job just wasn't doing anymore. There had been a lot of like corporate changes at my job, a lot of, layoffs. We went through like 5-6 rounds of layoffs. If you've worked in corporate, you know like how anxiety inducing that can be for yourself, because you're just like, when am I actually gonna get chopped here? Things just started to get really toxic and it just wasn't the work environment that I wanted to be in, and it just wasn't the work environment that I signed up to be in. So it kind of got to the point where I was waking up every day just like really dreading going to work. The way that I was being treated, the way that my peers were being treated, like I had never been so disrespected in my entire career, in my entire life, working with people that just did not have respect, for lack of a better word. So I knew I had to get out at this point. It was really just kind of like a race against the clock. For a while, I was really thinking, okay, maybe I can thug it out. Maybe I'll get laid off. Maybe I'll get a nice little severance check, give me a little cushion. But that didn't happen. And every single day that went on, I was just more and more miserable and like really, really, really hating my life. And I would just get annoyed. Like I would get annoyed when I would be trying to like edit something or I'd be trying to film something, and then I get a Slack notification. Mind you, I'm on the clock, okay? But I get a Slack notification about somebody needing something from work, and I'm like, what? So once I started to have those feelings, I realized like, okay, girl, you gotta get out of here. Like you gotta get out. I think what was holding me back for so long was just fear. Like I was living good, y'all. Like I had a very nice title, okay? I was an associate director of product development for a very popular skincare brand, okay? Like I had the accolades, I had the prestige, and I had the salary, girl. I was making $184,000 a year, guaranteed. I was so afraid of the unknown. Like I kind of struggled with a lot of imposter syndrome. So I didn't know, like, am I making it by because I'm actually good at this? Or am I just kind of making it by because I got lucky? Spoiler alert, it wasn't because we were lucky. So 2024 was a really pivotal year. I got to work with some amazing brands that I had only dreamed of working with. I feel like the real turning point for me was at the end of the year. I'd gotten a partnership with a brand for one TikTok video, and they wanted to pay me $14,000 for one TikTok. Mind you, I think they were really specific about the video having to be less than 30 seconds. I said $14,000 for one 30-second video? Yeah, sign me up. Imagine getting paid 1 month, 2 months salary off of one video. Who wouldn't take that and run with it? And like I had creator friends, so I knew how much the girlies were making that were really, doing their thing and really successful. Like a lot of my creator friends, some of them were making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 deal. So again, that kind of gave me the motivation that I needed. Like, girl, if one person is willing to pay you that much, surely they cannot be the only one. So I really went into the beginning of 2025 with a completely different mindset of like, okay, we have proof of concept. We know that this is possible. It's just a matter of time. So this is where I really just started to plan my exit. I felt like I just kept getting confirmation after confirmation, opportunity after opportunity, blessing after blessing that was confirming to me that I was on the right path. I got featured in Time magazine. Me, That was crazy. Then I made the Ulta Beauty Collective. That was amazing. They put me on a billboard in Times Square. I went to the US Open with Serena Williams. Like, all of my wildest dreams started coming true back to back, one after the other, to the point where I couldn't ignore this anymore. And this really started to feel like divine alignment and my purpose and exactly what I was meant to be doing. And I know some people are like, okay, like beauty content, you're teaching girls how to do makeup, how to do their hair, like skincare. How is that something that's like influential or impactful or like meaningful? But for me, the messages that I would get of like, thank you so much for your recommendations. I could never find a product that worked for me. Or thank you so much for sharing this. Your vulnerability helped me through my own situation. Like, those were the messages that literally melted my heart and literally just made me feel so validated in what I was doing. Like, it takes courage to show up and share your story and be yourself and show up online for everyone to look and examine and pick at you. But I knew that my content wasn't really for me anymore. It was really for the girlies. Like, it was for the people who needed to see themselves represented in a space where they didn't feel seen or cared for or thought about. So I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed some more. And every time I'd be like, okay, God, give me one more sign. And I would get the sign. And I'd be like, okay, just like one more sign. And we would get the sign. And it got to the point where I really started to feel like God was like, girl, I done showed you everything you needed to see. I've given you everything you've asked for. Like, what else do you need to trust me? Whew. And when I had that conviction in my heart, I knew I had no choice but to jump straight off the deep end. And it was scary. With this job, you never know when your next check is gonna come. So it's really just operating in a spirit of faith and trust that everything is gonna work out. But I was sitting there like, how can I trade this comfortable, secure salary for the dark abyss of the unknown? Like, every 2 weeks, whether I was on the computer for 1 hour a day or 12 hours a day, I was getting that paycheck in my account every Friday, every other Friday. That's a hard thing to give up. Again, the calling that I was feeling on my life, the purpose that I was feeling in my heart was just overweighing any of that, and I just knew that I had to obey. So I stacked my little coins. I made sure I had a good amount of savings before I went in and said goodbye to my corporate job. And I did it. In May, I put in my notice. I gave them 1 week because the way that these people treated me, I said, nah, y'all don't get a 2 weeks notice. You get 1 week. Like, I had it at that point and I was tired and I just wanted to move on with my life. So I gave 1 week's notice, and May 2nd of 2025, I was free of the corporate world. So it's been 4 months now. And when I tell y'all this journey, like, I know I've talked about it on my TikTok, this journey is not for the weak, okay? Being an entrepreneur, being an influencer, being in any sort of profession where you don't have stability and security is not for the weak. It takes faith, it takes dedication, it takes consistency. I struggled for the first few weeks of just feeling like I don't really know what to do. Like, I had all of this free time, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, at first I was kind of just like chilling. Like, I was chilling. Like, a girl had been burnt out. So now all of a sudden I had all this free time. I didn't quite know what to do with myself. I didn't have anyone to answer to. Nobody was sending me Slack messages. Nobody was checking for updates. I didn't have to report to anybody. So it was a lot to navigate, and it still is, you know, a little strange to navigate, but we're figuring it out. We're finding our way. And I will say the one thing that I have really learned with this type of business is nobody is going to work harder for you than you work for yourself. If you want work to happen, if you want things to happen, you have to put in the work to make it happen. And so I've definitely seen a shift in doing this from, you know, just like my part-time gig on the side to doing this full-time. And honestly, it's a lot. It really is a lot. There are no off days. There are no breaks. I'm on my phone working in some capacity or another every single day throughout the day. Like, that's just the nature of the job. I'm very grateful, you know, like, that I have this job, and I'm very grateful that I kind of get to make my own schedule. But for those of you who might think that, you know, you can kind of just like leave the corporate world and now you can kind of chill and coast. I'm telling you right now, you have to work even harder than you did when this was your part-time gig. This is now your full-time job. Treat it like it. Like, my life looks so different nowadays. Like, I'm filming pretty much almost every day. If I'm not filming, I'm editing. If I'm not editing, I'm networking. If I'm not networking, I'm pitching. Like, every single day, every hour of every day, there's something to be done. You cannot be lazy. You cannot get lazy. You cannot get comfortable, because I'm telling you, that is the way you fail. But with all of that being said, I love my life now. I am so grateful that I am my own boss. I answer to nobody but myself and God, okay? I get to live life on my own terms, on my own schedule, and it's honestly the most liberating and freeing feeling ever, and I do not regret my decision to leave corporate at all. This was the best thing I could have ever done for myself, the best thing I could have ever done for my mental health, and the best thing that I could have done for my future. Like, my future is so bright, y'all. You have no idea. And I know yours can be too. So if you're on the fence thinking about whether you want to kind of take the leap, I will tell you, nothing in life comes easy. Without risk, there is no reward. And that's the honest truth. Only you can decide when is the right time. When do you have all of your systems in place to be able to make that transition? But the industry has changed. Times have changed. Content creation is not going anywhere. Influencing is not going anywhere. This is a legitimate job in a legitimate industry, and it's here to stay. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but I promise you, the future of influencer marketing is so bright. The number of billions, hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars that are being poured into this space every single day, and it's only going to continue to grow. We are still just scratching the surface. So if it's something that you thought about, if creating content is something that you've thought about, you're not sure if you want to start, I'm telling you, it is still not too late. It is not too late. You could start tomorrow and you could still pop off and you could still make a bag. I tell everybody I know, if you have something that you're passionate about, if you have something to say, if you have something to share, get online and do it. Every single day I wake up and I'm still just like pinching myself that this is my life. Like, I get to do so many amazing things that I only ever like dreamed about. The influencers that I used to watch and look up to, they're my mates now. I'm going on brand trips. I'm working with brands that I've used and loved for years. All of my favorite brands send me products with the hopes that I'll talk about them. Like, it's not real life. None of it is real life. And it's something that I'm so immensely grateful for. And the life that I only have because I was bold enough and courageous enough to listen to the purpose that I knew that I had in my heart. I'm so grateful that I did. I know the best is yet to come. I'm only 4 months in still, mind you. I'm only 4 months in, but so many great things have already happened in these last 4 months, and I know that there's so many more amazing things on the way. So that is the tea, y'all. If you have been looking for a sign to exit the corporate world, to be a full-time influencer, consider this your sign. Make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you plan accordingly, okay? Don't just up and quit on a random Tuesday. But I just wanted to share this and hope that it inspires somebody that if I could do it, you can do it too. If this video inspired you in any way or if you enjoyed it, please make sure you like it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and of course, subscribe, okay? So you can get more behind the scenes of this creator life, okay? The ups, the downs, the L's, the wins. We're sharing all of it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.